All right, let's just dive right into this. Welcome to our latest explainer, where we're going to deconstruct the incredible financial rise of one of the internet's most chaotic yet honestly brilliant stars. Today, we're looking at the blueprint of a modern digital empire, one that was built not in some fancy corporate boardroom, but literally from a messy teenager's bedroom.
I mean, just take a second and really think about that number. $55 million. That is the staggering estimated pre-tax net worth of Darren Watkins Jr., way better known to the entire world as iShowSpeed. It's an absolutely massive figure, one that completely defies traditional entertainment economics. But you know, the real story here isn't just about the money itself.
The central mystery we're unpacking today is exactly how this happened. Like, how did a broke teenager from Cincinnati, Ohio, a kid growing up in a messy, divorced household who was constantly getting grounded just for playing video games, how did he transform into a multi-millionaire in just half a decade? Statistically speaking, he wasn't supposed to make it. But as you'll see, he completely engineered his own success.
So picture this. Early on, he faced a totally stark contrast in environments. His mom absolutely hated the cursing, the sheer chaos, and the indoor fireworks that came with his streams, and she actually ended up kicking him out. But his dad, up in Detroit, took the complete opposite approach. He fully supported his son's passion. I mean, the guy even wrote diss tracks when Speed faced internet drama. And getting kicked out? Well, actually scratch that. It wasn't just a setback. It gave Speed the unrestricted freedom he desperately needed to really scale his content. Section 1. Mastering the viral engine. Okay, so to understand this, we really got to talk about how YouTube actually works. The algorithm craves what they call average view duration, basically keeping people on the platform as long as possible. And while other creators were using fancy edits and crazy transitions to keep attention, Speed, he just used pure, unadulterated personality. His signature barking, his chaotic rage, his sheer unpredictability, it kept viewers absolutely glued to his live streams for literal hours. YouTube saw those massive watch times and just pushed his content into the stratosphere.
This is where it gets really smart. Speed and his manager mastered a brilliant growth strategy that we now call clip farming. So he would stream the super high-energy content, right? Then his fans would cut out the craziest moments, and those clips would just go hyper-viral on TikTok and Instagram Reels. Those tens of millions of views essentially acted as a giant, totally free marketing funnel that pushed viewers directly back to his main YouTube channel.
And this all came to a head in June 2021 when Speed started showing his live subscriber count on screen, effectively gamifying his own growth. It was wild. Fans would purposely unsubscribe just to make him rage, and then they'd resubscribe. It created this crazy feedback loop of entertainment. I mean, he went from 800,000 to 1.5 million subscribers in barely 24 hours. The exponential growth was officially unlocked.
Section 2. The Global Multiplier.
You know, it's wild, but this whole global takeover literally started with a seemingly random fan question about his favorite football player. Speed's massive mispronunciation and his sudden obsession with Cristiano Ronaldo just opened a massive door for him. Ronaldo is the most followed person on Instagram, and football is the biggest sport on earth. Speed accidentally and then very, very intentionally aligned himself with a global phenomenon.
And he executed this global expansion with sheer brilliance. He artificially created tension by constantly trashing Lionel Messi just to trigger fans. He trolled the World Cup with that infamous jersey swap. But most importantly, he relied heavily on nonverbal physical comedy. Because barking, raging, jumping around, that doesn't require any translation, right? This universal language recently culminated in an Indonesian live stream that smashed records, drawing in over 1 million concurrent viewers.
Section 3. Building a $55 million empire. Okay, I want you to take a guess. What do you think one massive YouTube video actually earns? Well, Speed's most viewed video currently sits at around 215 million views. Because entertainment content generally has a specific revenue per mil, or RPM, of about $1.51 after YouTube takes its 45% cut, that single video generated an estimated $324,000 in take-home pay. And remember, that is just ad revenue on one single piece of content. But ad revenue is just the start. When you break down the math on his YouTube memberships, you find the absolute holy grail of business, recurring revenue. Based on his 17,000-plus members across 3 different pricing tiers, these microtransactions add up fast. Even after YouTube's 30% cut, this passive income stream drops nearly $500,000 a year directly into his pocket.
Now, if you thought that was impressive, it's actually nothing compared to his live stream super chats. When you have 3 to 4 million people watching your streams after they're uploaded, and even a tiny fraction of them donates an average of, say, $5, the math just gets insane. After YouTube takes its cut, conservative estimates place his minimum yearly take-home pay, purely from stream donations, at over $7.5 million.
And we haven't even talked about physical products yet. Think about it. If just 2% of his 32.5 million loyal subscribers buy a single $25 t-shirt during a merchandise drop, that generates over $16 million in gross revenue. Now sure, manufacturing and shipping eat into that a bit, but the sheer scale of his dedicated audience gives him massive retail power, literally at the push of a button.
So when you put it all together, Speed isn't just a streamer anymore. He's a fully diversified modern enterprise. He makes tens of thousands a year casually dropping music on Spotify. Brands that are absolutely desperate to reach his young, tech-savvy demographic likely pay him anywhere between $1.2 and $3 million a year just for sponsorships. Plus, simply dancing and posting clips on TikTok pulls in an estimated $415,000 annually. He has quite literally monetized every single platform.
Section 4. The final net worth.
All right, so let's bring it all together. When you aggregate this highly diversified content empire, you're combining the AdSense, the massive donation streams, the brand deals, and the merch. And then you add in his physical assets, like his incredible $10 million mansion down in Florida and a $500,000 custom car collection, which by the way includes a Ronaldo-inspired Lamborghini. It all aggregates to that staggering $55 million pre-tax figure.
But as we all know, the government always takes its cut, right? However, Speed made a highly strategic business move by setting up that $10 million base of operations in Florida. Because Florida has 0% state income tax, he completely bypasses that massive expense, leaving him only subject to the 37% federal tax bracket.
So, after we subtract those federal taxes, we arrive at the final number, $34,650,000. That is his massive post-tax net worth. And honestly, it proves unequivocally that behind the barking, the sheer chaos, and the on-camera rage, there is an incredibly calculated, well-oiled business engine being run by a 19-year-old visionary.
Ultimately, Speed's whole journey is just an insane testament to resilience. He turned a messy upbringing and constant daily challenges into a multi-million-dollar opportunity. As he passionately told his viewers, you really can't listen to self-doubt. You have to refuse the idea that things are impossible and forge your own path, no matter what your environment looks like.
So, I want to leave you with this thought. We just deconstructed how a teenager defied literally every odd to build a global empire right from his bedroom. If you applied even a fraction of that relentless, uncompromising mindset to your own life, what is your impossible goal? Think about it. Thanks for learning with me today, and I'll catch you guys in the next explainer.